Hey there, everybody. I'm Eric Osberg, and I'm the Rural Rebound Initiative Coordinator for Otter Tail County, Minnesota. And we're back with another career conversation. And we're gonna take a little bit of a different approach this time and talking about future careers. And so joining me now is Dr. Carrie Brimhall. She is the president of Minnesota State Community and Technical College. How are you today, Carrie?
I am cold, but doing well. It's a great time of year to be in this part of the state, and I'm excited about the weekend and the opportunity to get outside and snowshoe and do some things over the holidays.
Okay, so let's start there then. Why do you choose to live where you live in Otter Tail County? Why do you choose to live in a frozen tundra? Why do you choose to live here?
Well, I remind myself on days when it's minus 17, I think it was what my car read this morning, that I like the people here. I keep telling myself on days like this because I do like to be outside and I spend as much time as possible outside all year long. But it does get a bit brisk when it's this cold. But really, my husband and I choose to live here because we wanted to raise our family in a safe environment with schools that really cared about our kids as individuals and help them be successful. They can be involved in everything they want to be. We can get to every activity they have. Sometimes it means you're driving to Crosby, Minnesota on a Tuesday night. But we really wanted to be actively involved in our kids' lives. I also chose to marry somebody whose family has had a business for 100 years in Otter Tail County. They've owned a business and run a business for 100 years. And so when I decided it was him, this is the area that I chose to raise our family, or we chose to raise our family, and we chose to work and give our all to this region and this community.
All right, so quick pop quiz. Top three, and if it goes beyond three, that's okay. Top three places that you like to go in the wintertime, whether it's activity related or just whatever. Where are three places that if somebody's never been to Fergus Falls or Otter Tail County or the area, three places they should check out in the wintertime?
Yeah, well, absolutely. If you like to get outside, the three places I spend the most time in the winter and really throughout the entire year are the Central Lakes Trail, going as far as possible on my bike or in the winter running. And it is a little crunchy, but it's beautiful and peaceful. I also spend a lot of time at Glendalough State Park, and there's a 5 mile loop and a lot of really great trails to snowshoe or cross country ski. And then Maplewood is the other place that I'll go. So with my job, I like to go places where there are other people around, but where there really is a lot of solitude and time to breathe in fresh air and see, the wonders of this region. So I spend a lot of time at our state parks and on the Central Lakes Trail.
That's a solid top three. Good advice. So let's talk about Minnesota State Community and Technical Colleges for a moment. You have a campus in Fergus Falls, and you have other campuses as well. Where are all the campuses?
Yeah, we have the Fergus Falls campus is in Otter Tail County, and then we have Wadena, and which is just about a mile outside of Otter Tail County. So I think it's pretty close. And then we have Detroit Lakes, and then Moorhead. So we really serve a very large part of this region. But we have the opportunity to work with 4 different counties and 4 different communities and 4 different parts of this part of the state. And so it makes my job really interesting. 4 different chambers, 4 different city councils. But it also makes it, we build on the strengths of each individual community to bring that knowledge to the next community that we serve. And so it really, we can maximize those connections.
So what is M State really good at? What, and I know that's a big question, and you're good at so many things that it's hard to, but how do you summarize what your institutions are really good at, and who is an ideal? And again, I know it's a big question. There's a lot of variables, but who are the students that you feel you guys are best well equipped to serve?
Well, I'll start by saying what we're really good at, and then I'll talk about our students. And that's one of the things we're really good at. But what we're really good at as a college is we diversified our portfolio of offerings a long time ago, not just on our campuses, but we have an extensive online presence. And then we do a lot of work in business and industry. So we serve about 8,000 students in business and industry, and then we do, our campuses and a lot of online. So as things change, and we've had to pivot quite a bit in the last couple of years, we were well positioned to pivot, and we continue to be well positioned to pivot as needs come up in our region. What we're also really good at is seeing every individual student for what they bring to us, and we honor that. So we've got students with all kinds of backgrounds. is about as diverse in every aspect of the word that you can find. So we have students who came right out of high school who have their parents supporting them and they're doing really well. We have students who have failed other places who are trying to restart. We have students who are in recovery. We have students who have incredibly diverse backgrounds, might be the first person in their family to go to college, are extremely poor. We have every type of student. And so I think what we're really good at is taking that student and saying, what do you need from us? Instead of saying, this is what we offer, take it or leave it. And we have a certain kind of student. Because we have such diverse students, we kind of say, tell me what you need from this experience and how can I help you navigate that? So I think there's a lot of individualization in how we approach our students. And then there's just a lot of honor for whatever life story you bring to us. It made you who you are today, and we honor that and then help you figure out when things get tough, how to overcome that. But also when you can celebrate, we do that pretty well too. So I think our hands-on kind of intrusive approach with our students is what makes us pretty unique as well.
And you do a lot of work with businesses as well, right?
We do.
Like you have this, and I don't know if this is new, forgive my ignorance if it isn't new, but you're rolling out these leadership training programs. And I know it's been around for a while, but it seems more robust and maybe repackaged, but it isn't just for college students. Your institution isn't just for college students. You're there as a facilitator and an educator to the business community or leadership. What are some of those programs that you offer, not necessarily students, but other entities within your regions?
Yeah, it's a really it has been here for a long time, but it's growing like crazy because every single community we serve and every employer we serve is saying, I don't know how I'm going to get enough people to do this work. And so that is a sort of a common theme in this region, certainly in our nation, but every person that can be working for the most part is working. And so what business and industry folks are saying is I need to figure out how to retain the people I have and skill them up in different areas. So a lot of leaders in this region are moved up because they're the best technician, they're the best producer in their department. They're moved up and then they're expected to know how to lead. And that's not a common, it really isn't as easy as people think that it might be. And so we do a lot of that internal work with companies because they know the more they invest in their current employees, the more likely they are to retain them. And so that work has just, we're just hiring right now. We're looking for another leadership trainer because our current trainer's booked out till 2024.
Wow.
With companies like all over this region and nation because of her. She's got a great reputation, but also just because people are saying, even if you think someday you might want to be a leader, we want to invest in you. And so we do everything from leadership training, Microsoft Office training. There's a lot of that, any kind of skill-based training, welding, safety, precision manufacturing. We do a lot with CDL right now because, again, with new regulations in February of this year, a lot of companies found themselves a little bit unable to continue to do their work without CDL licensed CDL drivers with the new regulations. So we can't even keep up with that. We do a lot of free CNA classes in the healthcare space, and a lot of nurses left nursing in COVID. Some of them want to come back. So we do like refresher nurse training. It's really, it's pretty a diverse portfolio. And there are 8,000 people that we serve just in that non-credit space. So we're all over the place. You can about imagine. If you think you need it, we can probably find a trainer for it.
Non-credit space. I like that terminology. I couldn't think of how to describe it. And that's a good way to describe it. So, and you mentioned the welding, and I don't know if this is the program specifically, but you'll do on-site training. Can you tell us more about your on-site training that's available?
Yeah, absolutely. And all those things I just talked about, for the most part, businesses choose to have them at their place. So those 8,000 students never come to our campus, but there are students still the same. And then they get a kind of a little bit of a dose of M-State, and then they think, well, maybe I should go back for accounting, or maybe I should do this or that. And so I think, what we know about this region, a lot of people have never been told they're good at something. So they might be working and just thinking that is what is for them for the rest of their life. And then they get a little bit of a training in something and they excel and they finally find their niche within a company. And that really motivates them to do more because it's the first time for a lot of folks that we serve that they've ever been told, wow, you could really rock at this, or you could really knock this out of the park, or you could really advance in this area. So companies are really starting to look at their own cultures and ask those questions about how are we keeping people? How are we advancing them and telling them how much we value them? So company culture is big right now. And when they feel like they have a glitch somewhere, then they call us and we help them figure out how to do that. So same with diversity training. We do a lot of that on site. We do it online too, but same thing as employees' needs are different and students are coming out and they're really a free agent, we call them, because they can work anywhere they want to, and they can leave. GL Tucker always says, if you are mad at your boss at 8 a.m., by 10 a.m., you'll have a better paying job. And that's really what our students are experiencing. And so it really, all of the things that companies are seeing as where people are leaving and why they're leaving, they're taking seriously because they know it means the future success of their business. So it's fun to have the conversations with businesses, and they're in a panic, and then fun to be able to say, we have a solution for that. We actually work with 10 other companies that are in the same panic, and here's what we've done for them. So it's a really robust area of the college, and it's fun to be able to get out and about to tell people about it.
Well, and you had mentioned diversity and, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I personally wanted to thank you and M State because you've been a leader in that arena, if you will, in the region. And so thank you for that continued effort. Anything else you think is important that people need to know about M State, about your communities, about your work? Anything else you want people to know?
No, I just say visit our website. I think students are really impressed by the number of programs we have on our campuses, about 72 and counting. So we're always changing. We have new programs coming on the Fergus Falls campus for next fall, an echocardiography or sonography program. So taking, we're not quite looking at babies yet. We're looking at hearts in the sonography space, but ultrasound technician, it's a really in demand, but very exclusive kind of program coming to the Fergus Falls campus. So just, if you thought you knew something about M State, you probably know about 1% of what we're doing. So I just encourage people to certainly follow me and the college on social media, and then also visit our website and poke around for a couple of minutes. I think you'll be pretty impressed by what we're doing.
All right. Well, thanks again for taking time to chat with us. Thanks for your leadership, and hopefully we'll get to chat again soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Eric.